Can the United States and Iran actually reach a deal that satisfies everyone, or is this just another temporary pause before a larger conflict? That's the million-dollar question as Benjamin Netanyahu throws his support behind President Trump's emerging understanding with Tehran. Before we dive into the complexities of this situation, if you want to stay on top of everything happening in U.S. politics, hit that subscribe button right now and leave a like. It really helps this channel grow and allows us to bring you these critical updates. So, what's the story? Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has publicly stated his backing for President Trump's proposed memorandum of understanding with Iran. This is a significant development, as Israel is a key player in the volatile Middle East. Netanyahu's support, however, comes with a very important caveat. He insists that any final deal must address Iran's nuclear program. He revealed that he spoke with President Trump on Saturday about this evolving peace initiative. The reported terms include extending the current ceasefire for a period of 60 days and, crucially, reopening certain avenues of communication or negotiation. This isn't just about a ceasefire, it's about setting the stage for something more permanent, or at least, a more structured approach to managing a highly charged relationship. The Trump administration has, for some time, sought to curb Iran's influence and its pursuit of nuclear weapons. Trump's maximum pressure campaign, which included sanctions, aimed to force Iran to the negotiating table on terms favorable to the U.S. and its allies. Now, it appears that a potential shift is underway, moving from pure pressure to a more nuanced form of engagement. Netanyahu's endorsement is a powerful signal. Israel views Iran's nuclear ambitions as an existential threat, and for Netanyahu to align with Trump on this specific MOU suggests that he sees a potential pathway through this agreement, albeit an incomplete one in his view. The emphasis on the final deal covering nuclear capabilities underscores a deep-seated concern. It's one thing to manage immediate tensions and ceasefires, but quite another to dismantle the infrastructure that could lead to Iran becoming a nuclear-armed state. So, what does this mean? Firstly, it suggests a degree of coordination between the U.S. and Israel on Iran policy, which is crucial for regional stability. When these two key allies are on the same page, their leverage increases significantly. For the Trump administration, securing Netanyahu's support lends legitimacy and strengthens their hand in any future negotiations. It also indicates that the administration is willing to consider a phased approach, where an initial agreement addresses immediate concerns like the ceasefire, while paving the way for more substantive discussions on core issues like the nuclear program. Who is affected by this? Everyone, really. The people of Iran, who have endured economic hardship due to sanctions and who might see a change in their nation's international standing. The people of Israel, who live under the constant threat of regional instability. The people of other Middle Eastern nations who have also been impacted by Iran's regional policies. And of course, the global community, which has a vested interest in preventing nuclear proliferation and maintaining peace in a strategically vital region. The possible outcomes are varied and complex. On one hand, this MOU could be the first step towards de-escalating tensions and preventing a wider conflict. It could create a window for meaningful dialogue that ultimately leads to Iran abandoning its nuclear ambitions and rejoining the international community on different terms. This would be a significant diplomatic victory. On the other hand, if the focus remains solely on the ceasefire extension and the nuclear issue is not adequately addressed in the long term, this could be seen as a temporary band-aid. Critics might argue that it gives Iran breathing room without fundamentally altering its strategic objectives. The reopening of certain channels could also be interpreted in different ways, and the details of what is being reopened will be crucial. There's also the risk that internal political dynamics within Iran, or future shifts in U.S. foreign policy, could derail any progress. The fact that Netanyahu explicitly stated the final deal must cover nukes is a very strong signal. It means Israel will be watching very closely, and any perceived deviation from this red line could quickly sour the relationship and jeopardize the entire understanding. It also raises questions about what constitutes an adequate address of the nuclear program. Does it mean complete dismantling? Strict limitations? International inspections? The devil, as always, will be in the details. This situation is a stark reminder of the intricate web of diplomacy and national security that defines international relations, particularly in the Middle East. The words of leaders, the details of MOUs, and the underlying strategic calculations all weave together to create a narrative that impacts millions. So, what do you think about this? Is Netanyahu's conditional backing a sign of progress or a red flag? Drop your opinion in the comments below. I read every single one. This is a developing story with significant implications, and we'll continue to monitor it closely. Stay tuned for more analysis and updates.